All right. Hello and welcome to the third session of the second day of Wacom Career Days, the online event where self-employed artists and studio professionals will share their insights and experiences on how to pursue a professional career as a creative. Today, we have a very exciting session waiting for you, but before we jump into the talk, I will go through some of the basics with you. Our session will last approximately 1 hour with a dedicated Q&A session at the end. We will be keeping an eye on the chat, so feel free to send your questions anytime you wish. We're all here to learn from experiences of our speakers, so please be kind to each other and do not spam the chat. If you have to leave early, don't worry. The session is being recorded and will be available on Wacom YouTube page in the following days. Those of you who have registered will also receive a follow-up email with summary and additional information next week. We see you socializing and sharing your art accounts on the chat, and we really love that. Just as a reminder, this stream will be open until around 10 p.m. tonight. And you will have plenty of time and opportunity to network between the live sessions. We kindly ask you to keep the chat therefore clean for session-related questions and commentary during the presentation. A quick reminder and an introduction of your host today. For those of you who know Wacom, welcome back. We've had a couple of online sessions in the last couple of months, so always good to have you on board and welcome back. Those of you who don't know Wacom, we've been around for almost 40 years, and we are the pioneers of digital pen input technology. So whenever you want to create on your computer and you realize that using a mouse or a trackpad just don't cut it, you should try a digital pen. Wacom Career Days is sponsored by MSI. With more than 35 years of technological expertise and a never-ending drive for innovation, MSI satisfies the needs of all types of end users with product lines that include, but are not limited to, notebooks, desktop computers, monitors, components, and chassis. A world leader in content creation, business and gaming solutions, MSI's newest content creation series products, Creator and Prestige notebooks, PCs, and monitors are not only powerful enough for even the most demanding creator tasks, but it's also known for pleasing and award-winning designs. To learn more, discover the right products for you, visit msi.com. A little bit of advertisement from our side. To show our appreciation to all of you who take part in these sessions and take time for it, we have an outstanding offer for you. By using the discount code Career20 in the Wacom EU UK eStore, you can get up to 20% discount on our top products, including Wacom Cintiq and Cintiq Pro families, the multiple award-winning Intuos Pro family, our newest 13-inch pen display Wacom One, and our exceptional all-in-one pen computer Wacom Mobile Studio Pro. And this is a limited time offer, so you don't want to miss it. And don't forget, the code is Career20. So finally, it's time to start. My name is Jeroen, and I'll be your host today and moderator. And in this session, I'll be talking with André Luìs from THU, Trojan Horse Was a Unicorn. This is a creative community event and honestly an experience of its own kind, bringing all areas of digital entertainment and interactive industry together through community-driven initiatives. It has grown into one of the leading creative community events and attracts speakers and participants from all over the world. And I'm very happy to have him here with us on board today. So let's get him on screen. Hi, André. Welcome to Wacom Career Days.
Hello. So I don't know what to say when I see these introductions. It's so funny. Hello, welcome. Thank you for inviting me. It's definitely a pleasure to be here, and it's your time to make questions because I hate to talk about myself. So it's better if you take the lead.
Yeah, sorry for dragging you onto the stage, and I know you love it to be center stage. Tell us, but it's great to have you here, and I think we'll have a really lively and enjoyable conversation. Well, maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself, like who are you and what is this Trojan Horse is a unicorn all about? I mean, the name alone is crazy enough. So maybe we can let people in on what we're talking about.
So who am I? Who am I? I'm always bad to talk about myself, but let's talk about THU. It's better. So THU was something I found. I started in 2013, and my goal at the time was to actually do something in my in my country, Portugal. We all had the same problems. I realized that later that it's hard to explain to our parents about I'm going to be an artist, how to get a job in this industry. And in 2013 was even worse for a Portuguese, or even worse for anyone, to be honest. So I started this to help my country, and I realized that I discovered something that can help more people around the world. So the same problem that the Portuguese has, everyone was facing. We had only 14 nationalities at the time, but talking with all of them, I realized the problem was worldwide. It was really hard to actually get a job and find a job in the digital entertainment industry. So THU grow in that sense. It's hard to explain what is THU nowadays. THU is an organization that helps creators around the world, where the main event that everybody knows is the flag of the work we do. However, we do much more stuff nowadays. So that's what is THU all about. And Trojan Horse was unicorn was a way for me to stand out from the corporate world. I wanted something so stupid that everyone could connect and everyone feel part of something different and at home. So that's the reason I tried to figure out a name that was so out of the box, so stupid. And the briefing was that, like, I need a really stupid name, and that was the reason I chose. Trojan Horse was a unicorn. That's quite simple.
But I mean, the setup of the event is pretty cool, right? You have speakers from all over the world that have a standing as a creator in their own industries. Sometimes from movies and from games that a lot of people know, and you have a huge crowd of young creatives that are coming in to meet those people and watch the talks. How would you describe the atmosphere of the event?
Well, the atmosphere is friendly. That's the family feeling. At least is what we try. One of the reasons that we succeed or start to be different is because we have, like, there's no VIPs approach. So means that, and I knew that because I travel around the world before THU, trying to make connections during events. And I gave my personal card, and I was just one more card, one more number. There was no connections at all. So that's why when I came up with the idea of THU at the time, the only thing I knew was I need to build a place where you can build connections. So I don't want anyone to have the same feeling that I had before, that I'm just a number. So that's the reason behind, like, everything we build at THU is to make sure that you are not a number. So everything is friendly. All the speakers, all the nights, at the way we call it, we want to make sure that they understand where they are going into. It's a place where they stay the 6 days, the 7 days. Normally they need to be there for 12 hours a day. They stay more time awake anyway. But we make sure that they know this, so in advance. And I'm pretty lucky and blessed that so far things went really well in a way. So that's I'm really blessed. So it's really cool to see that we succeed in that sense. It was not easy, to be honest.
Mm. I mean, the term unicorn in your title actually already. Oh, that's ambulance coming by. Not for me, hopefully. Unicorn already points into a direction I think a lot of creators can relate to, is when you are in your normal day-to-day surroundings, right? Your family, friends, at school, being a creative, or if you realize this is a career I want to go into, you feel like an odd one out, right? It's like you are the only unicorn in the classroom. You're the weird one. You get all the questions about, can you actually make a living out of drawing? How does an event like THU change that perspective?
Well, this
Is it
is
because
this is
it's
an event.
more of them?
Yes and no. Like, this is an event for introverts. I'm an introvert myself, so that's why I hate to speak in public, or I hate to speak at all with more than 5 people surrounding me. But THU is an introvert event, so for anyone that actually doesn't like to, is an outsider, for the outsiders. So it's easy for you to go there and to connect, because everyone suffer from the same problems that people like me suffer. Like, it's not easy to connect. It's not easy to make sure that people understands me. I'm always the crazy one. I was the one that people were always trying to change my idea, because it's better to be a lawyer, it's better to be a doctor, it's better to be a businessman. And THU is all about people like us, which we have our dreams. We want to pursue our dreams, and the creative industries is where we want to stay, or even not in the creative industry. Like, sometimes just to pursue your dreams, like crazy dreams, and we build a place that we can fit, and where there is no judgment. In a way, we have our rules, it's true, but our rules is more about behaviors, like respect everyone, for example, like be on time, and it's all about family behaviors in a way. And but the rest, be yourself. Like, we are here to, there is no judgments, or just be yourself. um, and we try to actually help the to help you to develop some weakness that you have in your personality, how to communicate better, how to understand your role in a different way. So giving you the guidelines, or like the information that will allow you to succeed. At the end of the day, is all about making sure that our tribe can succeed. So the unicorn part, everything that we do actually is so stupid at THU that people connect. And at the end is all about the food and the alcohol and the music. And everyone likes to eat, everyone likes music. So it's a bit of this and that makes THU a bit different from everything.
Yeah, I think a
Did
lot
I
of people
explain
can
well?
relate to that. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we what we've seen the last 2 days on our chat, how people from all corners of the world connect without knowing each other, but because they've got art in common, there's always this direct connection that they can make, and as soon as you have a safe space and a shared background, even introverts like us can bloom and can find their voice and get themselves heard.
Yeah, the tricky thing is to find a place where I can actually be myself, where I can actually have a place that allow me to grow. It's always a tricky thing. Like, in school, they don't teach us where is the place. They don't tell us where is the place, and it's really hard. There is not a lot of places around the world, to be honest, that allow you to actually be yourself, or at least have the mentality to make you grow, where you are important as an individual. But once you find that place, it's amazing the connections that are made, especially from the art community. It's really cool to see it. It's really, really cool to see it.
Yeah, I think especially in times like these where, like, yeah, in fact, for the last year, we had hardly a chance to connect in person across the globe. I think it's super important that we stay in touch with like-minded people, or that people that understand, be it online, or be it in a circle of friends or colleagues and business partners, because it's so important to speak the same language and speak about the same topics and keep your mind and creativity going, especially now that everybody is basically sitting at home. What has the last year been for you like? I mean, organizing an event, which probably didn't take place. How do you get out of that?
Well, for me, to be honest, was a really good year. It's I'm was the year that allowed me to. Everybody knows that THU, the main event, is a really incredible thing, but for my sanity and for my body and is is not good. And I was doing THU for a long time. THU is a massive thing to do it. And it's not easy, especially it's not easy. So for me, it was a chance to actually stop and rethink everything that I was doing, understand, um, understand what I need to do different to actually help more. Doing THU never allowed me to actually have the proper time to or money, because it's more always about the financial part that allow me to have the financial parts to actually improve the stuff that I wanted to do it. So that was a really good thing for me. And I have the chance to have like two incredible partners, sponsors. I will not mention the name because one is the competition of the major sponsor of this event. But I had the chance to have these sponsors that actually they understood what I needed and allow me to implement all the stuff that the tribe will start seeing in a couple of weeks. We are starting to, in 2-3 weeks time, we are going to reveal the new location. We are starting to reveal everything that we have been cooking in the last 14-16 months. So it was really good for that. And I hope that will be a lifetime moment for changing moment for THU. And now I believe we have the tools to help more creators around the world. And so that was really good for me, 2020, in specific for the THU itself. So I can't complain. But it was hard in a way that we try to, as you know, we always try to hear the tribe. We always try to understand what's happening, and we knew that we couldn't do THU, the main event, the physical one. We can't replicate online; it was impossible. So that was an easy decision. We never think about that, to be honest, because we can't replicate THU in a digital world. Because THU is not about the speaker, it's not about a talk, it's about the connections, the real connections. Mm-hmm. And so that's if THU is all about that, is a human behavior experience. THU, we knew from the day one that we couldn't replicate. So we tried to understand, okay, what's happening, what is missing, what can we do, and so we came up with the career camp. We realized that was missing last year and still missing this year is like, without events, the artists couldn't connect with recruiters. There was like, there's so many things happening online that as an artist, you send an email to any big organization now, and the recruiters, they are like completely overwhelming with the amount of portfolios. And and we all know how the portfolios world works. So we knew that we needed to find a way to actually help the creators to connect with the recruiters. So that's why we came up with Career Camp. We approach the experience in a completely different way. In one-on-one talk, one-on-one interview. Was a massive operation from our side, more than 1,000 people from 80 countries, I believe. So that was really interesting to understand what can we do, and in times like this, what was missing, and what definitely was the recruitment thing that was missing. But it was a good year. I can't complain, to be honest.
I mean, recruiting also plays a major part in your physical event in the past. Looking back at them, what is the typical thing that young creatives are looking for when they sign up and join recruiting days?
We have hundreds and hundreds of stories about the recruitment, and they all want an opportunity. That's the thing. They all want to find the first gig, and a lot of them, they're really good. But one of the things that you realize is, one, they don't prepare the portfolio properly. They don't understand how to go to an interview. They don't understand the difference profiles from the companies. Some of the attendees they just apply to all the companies, games, animation, visual effects. So there's no planning. That's the thing that we all listening from all the recruiters is 99% of the time there's no proper planning from the artists. What is something that I know a lot of people nowadays, there's a lot of podcasts and there's a lot of examples now where you can see like tips and tricks about, okay, if you go to a recruitment event, this is the way you should approach. This is the way these tips are important. So understand the company, understand what they are looking for, talk with someone that already worked in that company, try to understand the backgrounds. And a lot of artists, a lot of creators, they don't do this. They don't do the proper planning. So that is definitely the number one issue that we face all the time. We see all the time. And
so
that's
that
why
means,
in the second year, go. I
so
was
that
saying that's why
means
in the second year, we are always doing this. What I'm saying is like that's why in the second year of THU we see that the ones that went there for the second time, they have like more success stories to tell us. And it's funny because they are more prepared. They go there, and definitely there is a lot of success stories from the second year and third year of THU. And there are people that went 3 times and 4 times, and artists that they still don't have like the career opportunity they are looking for. But one of the things that we have success stories that after 4 years, 5 years, they got it. Because it's another thing that artists needs to understand. Everyone is different, so everyone needs different time to actually came up with that certain level. And there's a lot of comparisons there. Oh, that guy, that girl, she got the job and I didn't. And that is like another mistake that people do, is like comparing to another artists. So it's planning and comparison. So that allow you to start to stress out, to start to doubt more about yourself, that kind of stuff. And you don't realize that you lose focus, you lose the right information. And so that's the kind of stuff that we saw. But there's a lot of things to say about this.
Yeah. But preparation and practice, basically, right? So gather all the information that you can get from the studio, be specific in what you have to offer and how it fits into what the studio is looking for. Adjust your portfolio, make it tailor-made for that meeting, rearrange it, and don't go with the same story, with the same portfolio to 3 totally different companies, basically.
Yes, but but there are also like recruiters that tell you that you should be more generalist. So one of the things that is confusing for a lot of creators is they can go to 3 interviews, and the recruiters. I talk with all the recruiters. I try to understand why this, why that, and I talk with the interviews, the tribe members, and I try to understand what she told you, what they told you. So to understand what is like, how can we help as an organization? What type of information we can actually deliver that allow you to succeed in a different way? And there's a couple of things that the way you approach also the interview, like you need to be there to listening the bad stuff. You need to be there to actually to go to learn. And because it's a huge opportunity for you to be in the front of someone that can actually give you like a proper review of your portfolio. But the way you approach, if you are so nervous, if you are like trembling and you don't know what to say, and the recruiter will treat you in one way if you go super defensive, and will treat you in another way if you go there with your open heart to actually learn. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the learning process. And this is something that we teach to all the tribe members that go to THU. Go and speak, go and learn. Don't, like, if you don't get the chance today, you get the chance tomorrow. And we have a couple of stories of THU that people that receive like a really bad, in a way, not bad, but a lot of critiques of 1 or 2 portfolios, and that specific creators, they figure out, they learn, they go back home, they change all the stuff that they had to change from the critics, and they start again. And obviously, like this kind of approach, this kind of mentality, because it's a winning mentality. And this is also that we are trying to teach, that is, there is no losers. Like if you didn't get the job, it's because you are not good enough. You just need to realize why you are not good enough. So I'm not good on this and this. Okay, let's prepare a plan to be better on this. So this is also like a mentality approach that needs to be changed, or like the young creator specific need to learn. As an artist, I remember all of us that schools doesn't prepare us for this kind of stuff.
No.
It's always like, this is my last chance. This is the chance. This is where I go and show my project to this teacher, and I will not have another chance. In this case, it's different. Like we always have a new chance, and for some, it's like our background allow us to actually be more prepared at time. We had a better student or a better group of friends that push me to a different level. But others, they don't have this, so they are just starting now and learning new stuff now. And so if you go in this mentality, you will have a better chance to succeed. And if you don't have this mentality, to be honest, if you are not any place in the world to actually learn and understand where you are bad, because again, companies, they recruit artists or people so they can deliver a proper job. If they are not hiring you because you are not ready for that job. So your question is always, how can I be better? And understand where you can be better, go home, prepare yourself and try again. And if the second chance you have received the same feedback is okay. I'm still not there. Why? And there's a reason for sure, because I don't know any company that doesn't want to hire someone really good. And so if you are not getting hired, it's because you are not good enough. It's not because you are bad. It's not good enough now. So it's all about practice, and never give up. And and the approach you have about this, it's fundamental. And it's the kind of stuff that at THU we have been trying to do. We didn't succeed all the time. We are now in a better position to actually approach the next recruitment session, the next recruitment event in a different way. But I have to admit, in the last 7 years, we did a lot of mistakes, and we didn't approach this part in the right way. So, but now that's why I've been gathering information and analyzing all the data, and interviewing a lot of tribe members and trying, that week, we failed in a way. So that's one of the kind of stuff and information that is important.
But that ties into what you said earlier, right? Learn, be open for feedback, improve, go back to your own mistakes, try to improve. What I really liked was that you pointed out is it's not a one chance only. It's not hit or miss. It's not life and death. It's a process, and you get to meet people, and you will have a second chance. I think that's super important to realize that
it's
the
not
thing
even
that is
like
going to.
I was saying that again. We are always doing this.
Okay, I go.
You that don't know, we are good friends, so we're always doing this to each other. So what I was saying, what I wanted to say is like, it's not even a second or third or fourth or fifth chance. There is like, it's all about finding ways to go and receive feedback. Like you don't need to count. You just need to try as much more possible. Artists are afraid of feedback. And this is, we were talking before, like, it's so funny that after 20 years in the industry, the problems remain the same. So there is no information in the market. The schools don't prepare yourself. And the questions that you see today is exactly the same question that you saw 20 years ago. So, and the mentality at some point, I don't know, I have a plan, but it's, the artist needs to find a place where they can find the information, like a beacon of hope. that will allow all the artists around the world go to one place, that don't try to sell you nothing, just give you the proper information that allow you to understand how the market works, what is a portfolio, how to manage your career, because it's all about career management, how to approach the development of your career, what is the timings. There is timings. I'm too old, I'm too young, I need a job now, I don't have the money, so what can I do? Should I quit? Should I not quit? So that kind of questions that we all have, that, okay, that is really funny, but I have been trying for 2 years, but I didn't get the gig. So I need to, what should I do? Because I need to start to pay the bills. My parents can't continue to support me. And so all these questions that we see all the time, it's exactly what we saw 20 years ago. So this need to change in a way that, one, there is not one or two or three or four opportunities. There's nothing like that. And artists should go to the market and should expose themselves more times to receive a proper feedback. They don't need to be afraid to receive feedback. And I see a lot of artists, they are afraid to receive feedback. One. Second, the feedback they are receiving, it's always from the same type of friends, or like the same bubble. And that's another thing. They should go out of different type of profiles that allow you to actually give it's hard to receive bad feedback. From my side, I struggled for that for a long time, until I realized that was the only way to actually, for me, to be better, was starting to realize that the bad feedback, like honest feedback, it's the best feedback. So I always tell to the recruiters at THU that don't go with bullshit, just tell the truth. Like, if it's hard for them to listening, go and say. So it's a conversation that I have with all the recruiters at THU, and all the nights is, if you go to THU, try to give to be honest, be brutal in a way. It's a hard way to actually learn, but at THU we want you to go at least, okay, this is the brutal, this is a different feedback. This is a feedback that at least allow me to think. Obviously, I'm talking about constructive feedback. It's not just saying it's bad. No, it's talking about the points that the others, they don't mention in a way, because they want to be polite with you. And I know that this is also another problem. So going and resuming, it's not about one chance, two chance, three chance, four chance. There's no such thing like that. It's all about understanding career management in a way that allow you to identify your weakness. You are faster or you are not. So you prefer the technical part, prefer the creative part. So we all are different. So we need to understand, to balance where you are good and where you're not good. And that is, to be honest, the funny part. And a lot of artists, they don't want to understand this. So and you can continue, because there's a lot of situations where the artist needs to understand how to. Sometimes you want to be a create. I see a lot of times at THU that I want to be art director. So there's a funny line from Alex Alvarez from Nauman at stage at THU, that all the classes at Nauman School, in the first class, in the first day, Alex asked to the class, who wants to be an art director? So, and everybody say, I want to be an art director. And so we always reply only one of you will be an art director. So you need to understand how the market works. So that's another thing. So it's and the funny thing I see, and I saw a lot of situation where at THU specific, that a lot of creators, they wanted to do this until they figure out, or they see it. Oh, I didn't realize that is a path for me. I could go in that direction, because they are so stuck in one vision, they don't even see the opportunities that are in front of you. That's another thing.
Good point. And then makes it also so difficult to compare yourself to other artists, right? Because your own portfolio, your own persona, and your skill set is individual, and you bring a very individual mix to the game. So it's very hard to say like, I want that and I want to be like this, because it varies from people. What I think is probably super important, because I mean, yes, it's a big industry, but chances are that you're going to run into the same sort of people over and over again throughout your career. So what I've heard after the recruiting sessions is, in the end, it also boils down to your personality in terms of you as a person. Is there basic, simple things like politeness and friendliness, because you are going to run into the same people. So embrace the fact that you're going to receive brutal feedback and that it hurts. But I think it's important to understand that those recruiters are not there to hurt you physically and emotionally for the sake of hurting you, but to teach you something and to show you something where you need improvement. So don't take it personally, accept it, grow from it, and stay friendly even through the most awkward situations, because maybe next year you've improved and you can go back to the same person and the discussion will take a totally different way as you expected.
And you mentioned something that a lot of young artists, they don't understand, like the market is really small. So eventually you will work with that person or that person or that person. So all the success story, almost all the success story, they have one in common, like the personality, like you mentioned. If you are a team player, if you are there because you want to help each other and you want to improve, but you want to help, it's like when you are trying to help, you are learning more. You learn much more when you try to help someone. So, and being, obviously, the social media and all the likes, Instagrams and all the stuff, everyone believes that having a success career is actually, if I have more likes. I see often, like at THU, on Facebook, social media, artists asking, how can I have more likes? How can I have more people sharing my work? And it's confusing for me, because when a recruiter is selecting someone, they don't select because that image they have more likes. They select because the portfolio he or she is seeing is really, really good. So we should be more focused in actually developing incredible work and understand what is incredible work for yourself. And when you believe that it's incredible work, sharing with your network, understand the feedback, not in a public way, but in a trust group of people, and obviously be nice. That you mentioned, that is something that is missing for a lot of artists. Like they don't even I see a lot of creators, artists specific, they are so into their bubble, they forget how the world works. At THU, we try to give them, like, bring to a place where it's all about the one behind you, the one in front of you. It's all about others. So if you don't trust in your people, if you don't try to help your people, definitely you will not try to help yourself. So it's really good. And I hope more events and more projects can teach this in a way that allow everyone to actually behave in a different way. Recruitment, like you said, the ones that actually go there to learn, the ones that actually have like a good, like, okay, tell me more, how can I improve? It's the ones that the recruiters will follow. And a lot of recruiters at the end, they become like a connection with someone that they really wants, she or he really wants to grow. And that is, it's true, it's super common, but it's also the other way around. Like a lot of people go and they don't behave properly. They don't go with the right mindset to learn. They don't go to the right mindset to actually understand why I'm not why this company didn't hire me. And like I'm always repeating, specific for the tribe members, if you are not hired, there is like 2 or 3 situations. One, your portfolio is not good enough. 2,
Which can be changed.
It can be changed. 2, your personality doesn't fit in the culture of the organization. What can be changed? You can actually understand what personality, like everyone believes that I'm good on this, I'm good on that. So it's also about self-awareness. So can be changed too. And this is the two biggest problems. And again, it's all about talking freely, being open to receive the feedback, because I don't know any company that doesn't want to hire someone really good. And I don't know any recruiter, any big artist, any group of people that doesn't want to be surrounded with people that where they can learn from each other. So it's all about this. And if you are stuck in a place that people doesn't talk with you, or you don't have like them, it's maybe it's all about self-awareness. We need to understand how can actually we can change behaviors, and have the passion to actually succeed. It's all about the passion at the end of the day.
Yeah, this sounds a bit like mentorship, right? That you have a place where you can talk freely about careers and talents and how to improve. Is there something, or could we set up something like mentorship programs for artists? Is there something out there?
You have a lot of that. You have a lot of mentorship programs out there, and you have a THU. But the tricky thing is, the mentorship is always good when you have like the proper connection. So, and you need to find ways to actually have the connections. A lot of it's easy, and we know that a lot of artists will go online and send a message to people. I receive a lot of message people that I don't know asking for things, and it's really hard to actually give. Like, first, we are all super busy. That's one thing. And so it's I don't know your background, so I need to understand who you are. And so it's easy for me to actually don't give the proper feedback. And I choose to give mentorship to the people I know. So it's all about career management once again. So if you are at home in the middle of nowhere and you need the proper feedback, and you don't go to events because you don't like to go to events, so you need to understand, okay, how the market works, how people works. So I need to find mentors. So, but mentors that can actually understand me and care about me, that can give me like, is a relationship, is a friendship. Mentorship is a connection. It's not just someone that go there, oh, your portfolio, do this. It's not a mentorship. Mentorship is understanding where it's a completely different approach. And it's important for the young creators to understand this. So part of going to events, part of going to locally or internationally, in being in a social, digital world, you need to find ways to actually where people start to know you, wants to know more about you, without you being pushing to be a mentee of someone, because it doesn't happen in that way. I talk with a lot of nights, and it's all about, sometimes like a lot of artists, they just send message, and if you don't reply at the same, like if you don't reply this in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, we start to receive 8 message, and we see this all the time, in a way. So, and some of them, they are incredible artists in a way, but they don't behave in a proper way. But even for the young kids at home, and I know a lot of incredible young kids, they are too shy to actually approach anyone. That's another problem. They don't want to approach anyone. So how can I do it if I don't know anyone? I'm too shy to approach someone. So how can I survive? And that's why we built THU in a way for the ones that are shy. So introverts. And sometimes one of the tricky, at least from my side, and I know a lot of people do this, it's if you need to have like a network, or if you need to find like a safe place, and if you don't go to events, try to apply to a digital school, a course where you have a group of people there. You can actually have like a different approach. There is incredible digital schools nowadays, where you have like this community approach. And this, if not like schools, you have like incredible artists that are doing individual courses that can actually have this approach individually, go to webinars and being part of the community. And a lot of stuff are super cheap nowadays. Some are free, some are more expensive. but it's another like a strategy. This is a strategy that you can start finding a group, finding a place is a starting point sometimes, especially for the shy one. That's super important.
I think it's we should not forget, and probably very important to know, is don't be afraid. And the reason why you shouldn't be afraid is that we all share this story, this common experience of being a creative, having to defend our career choices or our dreams to people who want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a very straightforward business career where nobody will question you, what do you want to do with that when you grow up? And that is something that I realize in all those creative events, is when you talk to really, really successful artists and creatives out there, they all went through that phase where nobody believed in them, where they had to defend, where they had to take up a different job, came from totally different careers because they had to pay the rent. So that is something that you can use as a creative to connect to other people, because there's this shared understanding of where we're coming from.
But that is going to the point where if you are self-aware and if you understand who are the people, if you understand people in a way, you realize that everyone at THU normally, they are afraid to be on the stage. There are self-doubts. A lot of nights they ask me, why do you want me to talk? What should I talk? I don't have nothing interesting to say. So this is common all the time. Like Ian Spriggs, that everybody knows. Like I remember we spent, and that's why I have like a portrait. I'm really blessed to have a portrait from Ian Spriggs. It's because he never been on the big stage until THU, and because he was too shy and he was like too self-doubt about what kind of stuff can I say, what is interesting. So as a young artist or like a big professional, at the end of the day, we all the same problems. I'm super afraid of being here talking, in a digital event. Every time I go to a stage at THU, even being the founder and being there all the time, I'm always afraid to be on stage, and it's okay. We start talking about this. It's super okay. And being afraid, it's good when you have a safe net, when you can share this and understand, okay, it's okay to be afraid. It's a good point. It's really a good point. And at THU, all the artists, I can't remember one artist that was not afraid to be on stage. Especially, I remember Craig Mullins. Everybody like Craig Mullins. Craig Mullins, the god. He was super afraid to be on stage, and he was like the number one artist that's there. He was super afraid. Even Sid Meads, that I remember, he was like anxious to be on stage. He wanted to succeed. He wanted to make sure that he could give like the proper message to the audience. He didn't want to fail, and was Sid Meads. So I'm lucky to have these conversations and understand this from the background. I hope all the younger artists can see this kind of, receive this information and understands this reality, because at the end of the day, this is the reality. We suffer from all the same problems. We just need to understand how to solve it in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of people that go on stage on creative events with an imposter syndrome and just blow the rest of the audience out of the water is
99%. 99%. I suffer.
To be honest, it's something you can relate over. Yeah.
Of course, like I'm always asking myself why people wants to talk about me. Why? What I have interesting to say? Like, I don't see THU as a big thing. I don't see my career as that's why I don't like to talk about myself. But and that's why you convinced me to be here, because at some point there's people telling you have something to say, so you need to trust yourself. And thanks God I have friends that push me to understand that I think differently. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I hope other artists can understand this, and I really hope. And And if you have more and more young creators to understand this and understand that it's normal, it's not about themselves. It's like everyone suffers from the same problems. We just need to be more aware about what's happening, what surrounds us. We can start to have different conversation and different types of networks, and we have we find solutions to everyone. We have solutions for everything. So there is an answer for everything. So it's just about instead of self-doubt and being like depressive, like, okay, I'm not good enough. I don't know what to do. I want to tell to all the artists listening that there's no such thing. There's always, if you find a mentor, if you have a problem, let's talk and let's find a way to actually understand what are you doing or what I'm doing wrong. I went to bankruptcy twice. And when I went to bankruptcy, I doubt myself. So what the hell, should I quit? And I asked for help, and I tried to review everything that I did in the past in my career. And I figured out, oh, now I know why I went to bankruptcy, because I was failing. But I remember at the time that I was always believing that was other faults. I was doing everything well, and was other faults. So when I found the proper help, I realized that I failed because of myself, not because of others. So if it was about myself, I had the chance to actually change something. I have the chance to actually improve. So I focus in improving my personality, my behaviors, the way I take decisions, and because it's all about that self-improvement. And a lot of artists and a lot of creators, specific creators, they start to doubt about themselves so much that they stop thinking, and that is wrong, because you can be an artist as a creative, as a technical side. There is hundreds of jobs, positions. There's hundreds of ways that you can actually be part of this industry. You just need to actually sit down and understand what is the position. If you are trying to be the next Craig Mullins, probably you will fail, because you need to understand where to go, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it gets lonely at the top. But
It's lonely.
you maybe something to remember, that when I think or feel myself into a certain situation or position, or I feel a certain way about something, it helps to remember that other people might be in exactly the same position, or have been in the same position and found a way out. So I think what you mentioned before, having open and honest conversations, and listening to other people, can get you a big deal ahead, and a great step further. Because we hardly ever in this very unique position, right? Like, I'm the only one who's got to deal with this problem, because there've been other people before in exactly the same situation.
One of the things that is important is if you're listening. If you are part of a group of mentors and there's like 5 artists listening, try to understand the others. Try to understand what. And a lot of artists, they are so focused in their problems, they want to solve it, and they stop listening. And so they need to stop and like understanding the surrounding, and listening from the other problems, and they will start to make the connections. They will start to make like the patterns, and eventually not only allow you to help that person, but allow you to help yourself. And that is something that we all need to change. I need to listening more, to be honest. I have that problem too. Sometimes I don't listening others in a way that I should. I should be more like open to listening. This is like something that we all of us needs to improve. So that's my 5 cents on this. I'm talking to
the other thing. Well, at some point, I think I'm getting dinner, but that's nowhere near the horizon. So let's keep chatting. You mentioned one aspect which I think is also interesting to dig into, is decision making. So how do I know that I'm making the right decision, or how do I get to a right decision? I mean, you as the organizer of an event, as a business person relating to creatives, you probably have your own thoughts about it. But also for a creative, how do I get myself into a position where I can say like, okay, yeah, this is my decision, I go for it?
Well, the first thing to know is I'm not afraid to. People are afraid to fail. The decision part is really, really one of the most important, because society tell you that taking decision, if you failed, you will be stuck with that failure forever. So that is something that society is bad for us. Or so, and from my side, when I went to bankruptcy and I started to learning more about myself, I realized that I should be less afraid to fail and fail faster. So my decision making is one, I follow my heart and I follow my guts, and I go. And if I fail, I failed. I learn with the failures. I love to. It's the only way to learn. It's failing. So I try to do as much thing as possible, and not being afraid to fail. So that's one of the things that even my team, I'm always telling my team and my friends, especially, don't be afraid to fail. Just try. If you are trying the good thing, if you are being honest to yourself, and it's something that you really want, go. If you fail, let's go back and try to understand why you failed, and try a different way to do it. So the thing is, like, you need to have a plan, and if you have a plan, there's like an end goal. Let's say this: the end goal is the most important thing. I have a end goal all the time. So my end goal is this. So the way I will achieve the end goal, we can have like 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 40 times, 50 times. And that's the way I approach. Like, I continue to have the end goal, and I fail all the time, and until I find the right way to achieve the end goal. So that's the way I take decision, is I really have the end goal there. And you know this because you have been working with me for 5, 6, 7 years. I'm really like a passion about the stuff I do, and I have my dreams, and I follow my dreams, and I try and I try and I try because I believe. When I fail, I go back and I talk with the people that surrounds me, and I ask, what did I do wrong? And I try again with all the feedback, and I try again with all the feedback until I polish the perfect strategy to achieve my goal. So that's and I believe that more people should do this. Art is specific, and my friends, that don't be afraid to fail. Like, fail is good if you can learn from it and you can go again and try again. It's good. Like, you don't fail because you want to fail because you want to fail. No, you fail because you try. You have the passion to try. You have the courage to fail. Only the ones that have the courage can fail. So go and fail. And why I failed? Okay, try again. You fail again, try again. And that is, life is this. So you should do more like this, and not only about art, about everything, to be honest. So that's
And don't
that's
make
the
it
way
too big, right?
just step by step.
Don't make it too
Like,
big and break it down. Yeah.
break it down. Like, people are always waiting for the right moments. It's always the right moment. Always the right. After 10 years, they are still waiting for the right moments. Obviously, there's right moments during the strategy, but again, let's talk. Let's talk about career management. Let's talk about this kind of stuff with people that are surrounding you. Like, but don't be afraid. If you have 2 years, 3 years, 4 years waiting for the right moment, what is the right moment? This is a question I have often, to be honest, and everyone has their own, like, way to think. This is my way to think, obviously, and that's the way I take decisions in my life, and I teach you specific.
Good point. Good point.
It's
Break it down to
Thank you.
baby steps. Try, repeat.
Try,
Don't worry
repeat,
too
try.
much. Don't worry too about. It's not a biggie. Others have been there before. Yes, it can be awkward, but it will change.
All the time. Be awkward is good. Failing is good. Just understand why did you fail. Like, don't be ashamed about failing. Is like, learn, because what matters is your vision. What matters is, like, the end goal. So when you try to apply to that job, when you try to, like, there's incredible stories of at THU, at tribe members that with incredible talents that have been trying to have, like, I have one lady at THU that we all know, that I will not say the name. She's one of the most incredible artists that I know at THU. She has been working on games for a long time, but her passion is animation. So she quit her job last year, finally, to actually focus in her portfolio, to actually try to go to animation. And has been like super hard for her because she has been receiving like a bad feedback, or not bad feedback. She didn't get the job that she wanted. But one of the most interesting things that she's becoming a better person. She's more happy because now she's trying, and she's every time she receives a feedback, she continued to improve, and she didn't give up because she knows that she will get there. So eventually, and because she's doing the right thing, she's trying. She received feedback. She continued to improve. She is trying again, and I know 100% sure that she will succeed. And you have a lot of stories like this. And she's a lady that she's not a junior anymore. She's a senior. So for the young artists listening, guys, so she's a senior, and she's struggling because she has been working for games, and now she wants to do animation, and her portfolio and her something about her art is not ready yet to be part of the animation industry or the companies she wants to apply. So she's willing to actually learn and improve every day, and to be out of the market receiving feedback and a lot of no's, 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 no, 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 and she didn't give up. And I have like really hundreds of stories like this at THU. Hundreds. It's not even like 1, 2, 3, 10, 20. It's really hundreds. What is really interesting is inspiring. All these incredible artists really teach you improve all year because of them. If they are doing, we change a country. We change from Portugal to Malta because we are always asking the tribe to go out of the comfort zone. So at some point, we are always asking them to go out of the comfort zone. Here I am in my comfort zone, and I didn't allow me to go out of the comfort zone. So we moved THU to a different country because even we wanted to push ourselves out of the comfort zone, and learn from the experience. So they inspired me to actually take these really crazy decisions that we did. So, and was super hard, but we did it, and and we learn. That's the most important thing.
No.
Funny.
Talking about comfort zone, I think the entire world has been uncomfortable in their comfort zone for the last year. So spending most of your lifetime on the sofa where you should be comfortable, feeling totally awkward. What do you? Yeah, I mean, it's an achievement already if you get dressed in the morning for this year. Yeah, but what do you think has the last year meant for the creative industry or for artists? Have you noticed a change, or is it plowing on just on a different level?
Yeah. I saw a lot of changes. So we all know that the digital world is becoming super important. So all the companies, they need content, and the war of content is bigger than ever. Like all the streaming platforms, they need content. There is more people like at home, so the games industry grow, and the demanding like of again new content is there. And obviously there's I saw changes. At least the biggest changes that I think will stuck in the future, it was the companies were stuck about, okay, you need to come to our studio, you need to be here. And now there's a lot of opportunities where definitely the companies understood that the work can be done remotely. So that was something that I was always aiming to actually see that happening, because I always believe about quality of life. And you don't need to go to LA or not need to go to London or Paris to actually succeed. You can be in the middle of Kenya or Uganda or Portugal or any other country, Brazil, Uruguay, Chile, and you can succeed. And you can have an incredible quality of life. You can actually deliver an incredible work, and you can be happy. And you don't need to move just because the demand is in that place. So I think that is something coming in our industry. and obviously the amount of opportunities that is starting to be out there and will continue to be out there. Just go to the LinkedIn and you see a lot of companies trying to get new profiles, and I see that's definitely change. The bad thing for a lot of like young artists is the recruitment part is super hard digital. So you need to how to actually get your portfolio in the front of the recruiters, and the recruiters, they receive thousands of emails. So they play safe. So, or you are super lucky where they find your portfolio, or they go play safe. They ask some employees, do you know someone that is really good? So that's why what you mentioned about being polite and being like a team member, because some of the times you will be your friend that will recommend you. um, and without the physical events, I saw that it's really hard for the artists to actually show and introduce themselves. So that is a change that I still don't see. If this continue to more time without the physical events, like I have been talking with a lot of recruiters and they're receiving more and more emails nowadays. So it will be more and more difficult for young creators to get the job in a way. So it's one of the biggest change that I saw. That is the downside of this, because the other part is the changes for me, at least in my perspective, they are really cool. They are good for our industry in the long term. But this is
So
my
back
opinion.
to good portfolios, back to great portfolios, and focus on what you're good at.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of like opportunities. So hope, like there's in my lifetime, I never seen so many opportunities. So it's the best time to be in the digital entertainment industry. It's the best time in our life. It's just a matter of like there is more people there is more jobs there. But now it's a matter of like the young creators and the ones that actually didn't get the job yet to use. I hope some of the things we talk here to do a reset in their career or in their like the way they are thinking, and start thinking in a different way, and doing like understanding what is strategy, because it's all about strategy. And it's not just painting, no, or 3D, 3D. No, it's not. It's about practice, strategy, and that's it. If you have like a different approach, maybe you have different results. Makes sense. Makes sense, I think.
It does. Yeah. I think it's exciting what's happening around us in that field and in that industry. I mean, go back 5 years ago and it was a totally different world, and I'm pretty sure it will be a totally different world again in 5 years.
And when you have like companies like Epic that are throwing a lot of money to the market to help, there's a lot of like different projects that they are actually helping the creators in a way that was impossible to see like 5-10 years ago. Like even the respect of society about what is art, it's changing. Netflix changed everything. So even for ourselves, in a way that to be okay, I can go to my parents and I can say that, hey, I work for Netflix. They will, oh, that is the perfect work nowadays. And so they will, we start to actually needs to be proud and about our work and our industry. Everyone wants to work in a digital entertainment. All the governments wants to have the digital entertainment industry in their countries. So that is funny too. Like we need to be proud. Like our ego is now like in a big way to grow, and it will grow in the future. I see that in the future will be even more important. The artists will become even more important. So we are in the best time in our lives. If you want to be, if you have doubts about being an artist, well, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, but now don't be don't have doubts. Like this is the best time to be an artist for sure.
Yeah. Creativity gets recognized today. That's a huge step forward.
Yeah, I see with THU. Like THU was like the event that, what the fuck is that? Oh, what the hell is that? And now I was like, oh no, that is like the kind of stuff we want. Like that's super interesting to see that the mentalities are changing. And if an event calling Trojan Horse was a unicorn can receive like a proper attention from different types of profiles, like we all can have that attention in a way.
Yeah.
So it's a really good time to be an artist and to work in the creative industries. That's for sure.
And that
I
is a
talked too much.
fantastic, no, but that's a fantastic closing remark already. I was sort of steering. I,
Went well.
no, but it did.
It's not like
It was
art
great talking to you.
a pleasure. It's not the kind of subjects that I normally talk, so it's thank you for the opportunity, to be honest, and I really hope I had the chance to help. And anyone in the audience have questions, please feel free to actually send me an email or find me on Facebook. And obviously I will be, like always, be open to help. And that's it from my side, I think.
Yeah. Maybe we should
I don't know
warn the people that you tend to reply back at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, it's the hard part of being interactive. I only slept 4 hours a day, so it is what it is. It is what it is. So thank you, really thank you. I don't know
Right.
if we are done, there's any questions or no? We are done. So
I think we're done. I think we touched a lot of subjects, and I'm pretty sure that there was some interesting remarks in there. I personally feel it added a nice additional layer to the setup of the event, because you're in between the creatives and the creative industry, and you hear from both sides. I think I found it very interesting to talk to you. So thank you. Thank you again.
Pleasure.
I think we've
And see you soon in Stuttgart, I hope.
Yeah. See where it is. We've got a couple of slides. Yeah. Talk soon. Yeah, we've got a couple of slides to finish this second day of our Wacom Career Days. To all of you who joined us today, a big, massive thank you from all of us here to all of you out there. Thank you for joining us. It's been a great day. Final reminders, please go ahead and follow our speaker, André, among those. And Trojan Horse was a unicorn. It's a fantastic event. And they've got great content on their sites. Don't forget to check out our special offers that we have for you. The offer is valid, as I mentioned before, on the Wacom EU and UK eStore, and it's a time-limited offer. Use Career20 to get your 20% discount on selected products. And that's it for today. It's been great being your host for today. I hope you enjoyed it. See you again tomorrow, where we're going to be talking about portfolios on the Portfolio Day. Hot topic with a lot of interesting speakers and plenty to see, learn, and dive into. Till then, thanks you very much and stay creative. Bye-bye.